wrist shots. And this is Matt runs this, and this is just going to be a bunch of questions just for our audience to get to know you a little better, etc.
Cool. I've never done it with two guests before, so this is going to be
Hey-o.
fun. Either in the editing process it's going to be fun, or during the time it's going to be fun.
Okay.
All right. So I have Fatou and Tunisha from the Black Girls Hockey Club. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to actually go, let's do an order. So Fatou, you answer first, and then Tunisha, you answer. Let's just do it that way, and that way we have some kind of order. Then we'll see how it goes, all right?
Let's see if you can keep order.
Yeah, let's see if we can
As this
keep
goes
some
on.
order, right? First rink you skated on.
Never. But the first rink I walked on was MSG.
Oh, God. I think it was Pigwig in Burbank.
Nice. First live sporting event.
For hockey or in general?
Sporting event.
Ooh. That is it had to be it's a Washington football team game.
The Washington Football Club.
Yeah, well, yeah. In the late 90s or early 2000s.
World Wrestling Federation, the Orange Pavilion in San Bernardino, 92, 93. I was about 9 or 10.
Fatou, what sports did you play in high school?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I didn't play sports, but I played kickball in gym class.
High school, I was varsity volleyball and basketball.
My favorite question. Sammy Hagar or Diamond David Lee Roth?
I'm going to say Queen.
I'm going to do David Lee Roth for the hair.
Who did you idolize growing up?
Ooh, that's a great one. So since we're sticking with sports, my favorite sports player as a kid was Charles Mann on the Washington football team, and he actually came to my school the year they won the Super Bowl. So I'll stick with that.
I wore number 91 because of Dennis Rodman. And that was my dude.
That's a great one.
Hair a lot. I drew tattoos on my arms.
Which Dennis Rodman? Which team?
Bulls. 90. Although I have his 73 Lakers one, and I hate the Lakers as we've noted, but I did it only because it had Rodman on the back.
He's great. That's
He
a
was
good
there for like an hour anyway. Didn't count.
That's a great one.
Fatou, biggest shithole arena.
Oh yeah. Islanders, the one that we shut down when the Caps beat them in the playoffs, and they greatly insulted me to a point where I'm in the Washington Post because of it.
Is that the Coliseum?
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Mausoleum.
I don't know the name of it, but it's in Bakersfield, and I saw a WWF show there, and it was just like wife beaters and scratching and just nasty. I don't know what that joint
So
was called.
more the clientele than the actual.
Yeah, it wasn't so much the arena.
That's fair. But I just remember like, oh, I'm sure this seat is nasty and bleh. Like that's where it got. Just all around.
I'm going to give a shout out to a teacher or a coach that had an impact on your life.
Ooh, well, so because I did not play sports, my coach, who I'm gonna try to get back, is Barry Trotz, because we all, as Caps fans, witnessed something we've never seen before. So living in New York, I always look for him so I can go put him in my purse and drive him all the way back to DC. That's him.
I have a 1A and 1B. So 1A, it's Coach Erickson, who was my varsity basketball coach when I played basketball in Riverside. And then my 1B, he was actually my U.S. history teacher, but he went to all of my games and he just motivated the hell out of me. And I remember him sitting there and just being like, "Go T, you got this," while I was playing volleyball and stuff, wearing my Rodman number. Coach Erickson and Mark Harry.
Beautiful. Red or black licorice?
Oh,
Definitely red.
I'm saying, blood.
Tunisha, please say the word red.
Oh, sorry, red.
Thank you.
Vine. Red vine.
You need to answer these
Right, you
questions
got to go
very
West
officially.
Coaster right now.
Favorite Rink Stories episode?
This one.
Ditto.
Dead or alive, one dinner guest.
Ooh, See, that's a very hard question, but I'm just going to have to say Michael Jackson because he's the definition of my childhood.
First one that came to my mind was Mike Tyson. So I'm just going to stick with that.
Okay, thank you both so much for playing up. But since you said Michael Jackson, just an interesting tidbit I heard today. Michael Jackson, Prince, and Madonna were all born 2 months apart in the same region of the Midwest within a few miles of each other.
In
All three of them
1958.
in
Did not know that.
1958. You listen to that sports station today too, huh, Fatou?
I know that because I'm just a crazy fanatic.
I heard that. I was like, you kidding? So 3 like musical geniuses came from that little great
Michigan,
area right
Indiana,
there.
and Minnesota.
And Illinois, yeah, right there.
That
Oh my God.
Midwest, like, it's that water. There's something in the wheat.
That's what they were talking about. There's just something in the Great Lakes.
Something in Lake Michigan touches all 3 of
Right?
those states.
I mean, that's crazy. But so thank you both for playing. That was pretty cool. There's some, I put a couple of new questions in there for you guys, and you really liked those, so they're staying in. All right.
And
Bob,
Sorry,
any,
answer.
by the way, you guys, David Lee Roth, every time people say Sammy Hagar, I cringe. Sammy Hagar, come on.
But she's not the first one to reject the question.
No, they didn't.
Two.
They both picked, well,
picked
kind of. She
Queen.
picked David Lee.
But she
She
said
picked
Queen,
But she picked Queen, which is the best. I forgot she picked
meaning
Queen.
the band, right?
Yeah, well, I got to make it up if I don't really have an answer here.
So
Right.
it's funny because Doug Peters from the Zamboni episode didn't know, and he said, "Are either of those guys in AC/DC?" And we were like, "No, no, no."
And he was
And-
far too old to be answering it that way. Because
Totally.
we had like 25-year-old guests who are players, and they're like,
See,
who
that's
are
like the
these
third
guys?
time too. Like, you said Doug Peterson. I keep thinking of the Eagles coach.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say-
Peters. That's the thing. I kind of trail off. I'll say it, but he's Doug Peters, not Peterson. Sorry.
Ah.
But thank you guys for playing. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
That
and I
sounds
like the
fun.
fact that the hardcore hockey questions, which are first rink you skated on and shithole arena, you guys had good answers for that.
Totally. You guys. So what happens is, we do things where we do this thing called Rink Stories Rewind in our episodes, and we'll take things from old episodes and we'll stick them in relevant areas in future episodes. Some of those will definitely wind up in there.
Oh, exciting.
But Tunisha, while I have the mic, I just have to ask you real quick. Early on, you talked about the psychology background and the difference in kind of the bandwagon versus the dogs, right? Bob is a huge bandwagon guy, okay? The Patriots, the Bruins, the Red Sox. He's a bandwagon guy, right?
Well,
Me,
I've had
I'm
a
Jersey
nomadic
guy.
life.
Jersey
And
guy, Rutgers, the Mets, the Nets, the Devils, the Giants.
Woo.
I think I'm a little more closely aligned with you, Tunisha, than I am with Bob.
Other than the fact you're pulling for the
I was about to
Lakers
say,
right
Are
now.
you a Jets fan? Are you watching the game on too right now? Or
So no. So here's I can't. So I've stopped watching the Giants, and I can't watch the Jets because it's just awful. But I have to admit, since I did get here 20-something years ago, I am pulling for the Lakers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I can even watch that shit anymore.
I'm pulling for the Lakers. Plus, I had Steve Mason as a guest on the podcast
Yeah.
of mine, so he's a huge Laker fan. So
I know. I can't listen to Mason in Ireland anymore. I was like, dude.
But there is a thing when you're in a local area, your allegiances kind of shift. That's why I've changed
Mine
teams
didn't.
sometimes. Yeah, yours didn't, but
Mine got crazier because I guess everything New York is against DC, so mine got actually crazier. And the only New York team I think I could like are the Knicks because they're just so bad that you have to respect their like diehard fans.
If you start liking
Yeah.
them now and you're there for the rebuild, that's different than jumping on after
Exactly.
the rebuild. 100%.
it's already been
That's very-
47 years, right?
A million. Yeah.
By the way, I did do the Boston trip with Bob. We went to go to Fenway to go see. And the day we were going, Pedro was supposed to pitch, but Pedro had a little bit of an arm thing going on. It started to drizzle, so they decided to not pitch Pedro.
Because the dew point and the humidity and
Because it was a little rainy, but we wound up getting this. So we went 2 games while we were there, and we sat up in right field by the foul pole, like that view from there, and then sat down in really nice seats. And I swear I liked the foul pole seats way back there way better than the seats down low.
That's how I felt when I went to Citi Field. I went to a Mets game
There
like
you
2 years ago. It was when the Rockies were in town. And yeah, I sat, like, you never sit in the actual ticket you get. So I'm like,
Yeah.
going around. It was my first time at that arena, so I wanted to kind of sit in every section and feel out the game. And yeah, like that line
Yeah.
was just beautiful.
We worked our way.
Game, it was gorgeous.
But you know those seats they put in it over like the left field wall with the little tables? We worked our way up there to check out what those seats were. And it's literally like you're hanging, it's really strange. You're hanging over the field. It's very steep. It's very crazy. Hey Bob, do you want to take control of this podcast?
Yeah. Are we done with
let me stop this segment. and then I'll put my mic on mute again. Ugh.